Hello everyone. I am Rudranil and today I am back with a story. That is the detective story of Bhashkar Chowdhury chapter 1 by me. Hope you like listening. If you want to read it, the story is also given in the description box. So without hesitating much, let's start the story. Detective Stories of Bhashkar Chowdhury. Introduction. Hello, my name is Akhilesh Kumar Chatterjee. I have a school friend whose name is Bhashkar Chowdhury. By occupation, he is a software engineer, but his interest is in another thing. He is a detective. When he was in school, I often saw him reading detective novels in the library of our school library. So, when he grew up with engineering, he also learned observation and took training for revolver and got a nice tip, i.e., he is licensed. He chose me as his assistant. I am a businessman by occupation, but I keep going somewhere or the other for investigation with Bhashkar, though he does the real work. I enjoy a lot with him. I would like to share some of our adventures with you. Now, let me give you more details about us. Bhaskar's height is 6. Mine is 5'11". Bhaskar doesn't have beard or mustache. I have a beard of 1 centimeter breadth and 1 centimeter length under my lip. Our age are both 29. Bhaskar is a detective who doesn't smoke. Seems odd. No. He says there is no mean that a detective has to smoke. You will know more about us in our adventures. Enjoy reading. Chapter 1. The First Adventure of Bhaskar. In the month of December 6th, in a sunny morning, I came to Bhaskar's house in Newtown, Kolkata. We were having tea when he started. See, I will tell many things about you now. In the morning today, you cut your nails, then looked after your garden as your gardener was absent. Today, you applied Secret Temptation, but every day you apply Park Avenue. And after wearing your shirt and pant for coming here, either in the house or in the road, had biscuits. Isn't it so? Awesome! How did you know? I asked, quite surprised. He smiled and began. Your big nails, which I saw yesterday, are missing. There was a fresh leaf in your car mattress. Probably it was there from your shoes. I realized the scent, and there are crushed biscuits in your handkerchief which is peeping out from your pocket. I said, it won't be bad now if you open your detective agency. I will see to it. Now say, where we should go for a trip this year? Asked Bhashkar. After thinking a while, I replied, Nepal. That would be a pleasant place to visit. So, without thinking much, let's go to Vishwabhushan Travels for tickets to Tribhuvan International Airport and later we would decide our plan. Now decide how long we would stay, said Bhaskar. I thought a while and said, 10 days would be enough. Yes, now let's go to the Vishwabhushan Travels, said Bhaskar. Bhaskar had a Renault Kwid and a Royal Enfield. I have a Suzuki Swift and a Pulsar 220. My car was waiting outside with driver. We went outside and boarded my silver color first hand Swift. Bhaskar gave directions to the driver. A 10 minutes journey took us to Vishwabhushan Travels. I said to my driver, Mr. Achintya Biswas, you can park your car in the next right side. We will be back within 10 to 20 minutes. And went inside the travel agency for tickets. Mr. Dibyendu Sarkar welcomed us. Bhaskar knew him well. He addressed me as, he is my school friend Akhilesh. Hello, I said. Hello, said Mr. Dibyendu. Bhaskar began. Sir, we want 2 flight tickets from Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport to Tribhuvan Airport on 24th December and 2 from Tribhuvan Airport to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport on 2nd January. Mr. Dibyendu said, that could be arranged. I will inform you as soon as I can. We thanked him and got up. Then we walked to the next street, where our car was waiting. On the way, I knew from Bhashkar that Mr. Dibyendu arranges tickets very fast for emergency, so our tickets would be arranged fast in comparison. We came back to Bhashkar's house. We got down and went inside. I asked Bhashkar, "What about the arrangement of the car and hotel?" He answered, "I have a man who rents car at Nepal, and I will book the hotel online right now in front of you, or else we might not get." Then he took up his Apple iPhone 11 Pro and called someone. Later, I heard the conversation by iPadio app. The conversation that went up are as follows. "Hello, this is Bhashkar speaking." "Hello, Bhashkar." "Sir, we want a car on hire with driver from 24th December to 2nd January. "That could be managed. Will a Toyota Etios do?" "Yes." "Okay, so I am booking it for you. I will send the price later in your mail ID after calculating." "Okay, thanks. Welcome. Bye." Bye. After listening, I said, "Flight arranged, car arranged, now tour plan and hotel left." Bhaskar said, "Yes, bring my laptop and I am booking the hotel, and then we will decide our tour plan." I brought his 1-year-old Asus laptop. He turned it on and started searching hotel. After seeing a lot of hotels, we finally decided to stay in Hotel Pawan Palace and therefore booked it. Then he turned off his laptop and we started discussing the tour plan, which I would not like to share now. Soon, it was 24th of December. We reached Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose International Airport at 8:30 am. The plane departed at 10:40 am and reached Kathmandu at 12:40 pm. After the customs of the airport, as per our plan, we were supposed to go to our hotel and check in first. We boarded our booked Toyota Etios. On the way, our car's tire punctured, and there was no stepney in the car. Thus, disappointed, we had to wait. Our luck was good, as within the next 10 minutes, a car stopped by us. A man with a little moustache and no beard came out. He asked, "It seems that your car's tire is punctured." Bhaskar replied, "Oh yes, and it would be a pleasure if you could share your stepney with us. We promise to buy you a stepney in the next coming stepney shop." "Yes, surely. Come, let's take it out," said the man. Bhaskar went and helped the man to take out the stepney, and our driver fitted it in our car. The man seemed to be jolly and was happy to help us. Bhaskar said, "Thank you, Mr. Bakchi." I, and whom Mr. Bhaskar called Mr. Bakchi, both got surprised. I started thinking that Bhaskar knew this man or what. Is that why that the man helped us? But Bhaskar did not introduce me to him. Then, what could it be? While I was thinking all these, the man asked, "I am quite surprised. How did you know my surname? Did we meet earlier?" "No," said Bhaskar. "Then?" asked Mr. Bakchi. "While helping you out to take out the stepney, I saw 4 of your visiting cards fallen down in your car mattress and your driving license peeping out from your pocket. I couldn't see the full name as you turned back for a very short time, but that was enough for me to see the surname," answered Bhaskar. Mr. Bakchi asked, "Are you a detective?" "Perhaps you can call me a half detective, as I don't have any experience before," said Bhaskar. By that time our car was repaired. We went in front and Mr. Bakchi's car went behind us. On reaching a tire shop, Bhaskar bought 2 stepney wheels. He kept one for our car and handed another to Mr. Bakchi. While giving it to Mr. Bakchi said, "Oh, thanks. And your name?" "Bhashkar Chowdhury." "We are staying in Hotel Pawan Palace," said Bhaskar and got up in our car. Then we moved towards the hotel. After lunch, we thought that we would take a stroll as the weather was pleasant. We took some warm clothes as the weather could turn cold any time. Just as we crossed the gate, we turned left and started walking down the street. After walking 10 seconds, we met Mr. Bakshi. He said in a voice that seemed he was in trouble, "Oh, it's good to meet you here. I was going to you only. It would be good if we talk in your room rather than in this road. It's urgent." We agreed and took an about turn and then started moving towards Pawan Palace. On reaching our room, we offered a chair to Mr. Bakshi. He said, "Thank you," and began. "My full name is Shantanu Bakshi. I am from Kolkata, but I live here for business, i.e., I am a businessman. I have a house here too. Actually, I am going to buy another shop, so for many days I am taking out money from the bank, and just yesterday I finished taking out 3 lakh rupees. I kept them in a black bag, and today when I returned home in the afternoon, the full bag was missing. And day before yesterday I got a paper in which something was written. I thought that it was a joke. There was something printed on the paper. See?" Saying this, he took out a paper from his pocket and handed it to Bhashkar. I also peeped into it, and whatever I saw is what I am writing here. Proseche e alias Thanotas. Bhashkar said, "Don't think that this is a joke. It is written in Greek saying, 'Be careful, or else death.'" Mr. Bakshi's lower lip went down and upper lip went up. He said, "Oh no." Bhashkar said, "Don't worry. There might be another plan before, but now your bag is stolen, so this is useless. Did you inform the police?" "Yes. They came and asked questions, but they seemed to pay no attention," said Mr. Bakshi. Bhashkar asked, "Can I come to your house one time?" "Come now only," said Mr. Bakshi. We got up. A 5 minutes walk took up to Mr. Bakshi's house. It was a double-storied house painted white. We went inside the house. There were 4 sofas with red cover and golden design in them placed in the first room where we entered. We occupied 3 of them. Bhashkar began, "Who all stays in this house?" Just after this question, a Nepali servant came with 3 cups of coffee. Mr. Bakshi waited for the servant to go and then said, "My son and his wife came here for holidays. One of my relatives stay here for job and 2 very believable servants, but one of them had deceived me one time. But still I kept him giving a last chance. Now he is doing well." "Identity of the servants?" asked Bhashkar. "One named Thangpa and another Bibek. Both are Nepalis. Thangpa was the one who cheated me. Both of them lives in my house and goes home occasionally. Bibek is married, but Thangpa is not," said Mr. Bakshi. "Can I meet them?" asked Bhashkar. Mr. Bakshi shouted, "Thangpa, Bibek, come here." 2 Nepali servants came. Mr. Bakshi introduced them with an open hand gesture, saying, "This is Thangpa and this is Bibek." Bhashkar asked the same question to both of them. They were, "How old are you working here?" Thangpa said 15, Bibek said 20. "Do you know that a theft occurred in this house?" Thangpa said yes. Bibek also said yes. "Don't you have any money problem?" Thangpa said, "I clearly tell that I had. So one day I even took some money from master's pocket, but I returned him and since then he increased my salary." Bibek, "What master gives is enough for me and my family." "You can go now," said Bhashkar. Then Bhashkar asked Mr. Bakshi, "Can I meet your son, his wife, and your relative, and then see your entire house?" "Let's go forward," said Mr. Bakshi. "I am writing the questions and answers accordingly." To Mr. Bakshi's son, "Your name?" "Sushant Bakshi." "Where do you work?" "I am a mechanical engineer, so I am not stable. Right now I am in India and I came here for holidays." "Do you know that a theft occurred in this house?" "Yes." "What do you think of it?" "My father kept it in an almirah locked, but it vanished. The culprit must be very careful." To Mr. Santanu's wife, "Your name?" "Nirmala Bakshi." "Do you know that a theft occurred in this house?" "Yes." Then Bhashkar requested Mr. Bakshi to go out for a while. Do you know that the relative is staying in this house? Yes, but what? I have a doubt on him as he came to this house for the first time 2 months ago, and that also for job. He must have hired a house or purchased one by now. Then we called Mr. Bakshi and went to the relative. Your name? Krishna Mohan Ganguly. Where do you work? I work as a banker in Nepal Bank as an accountant. Do you know that a theft occurred in this house? No. Mr. Bakshi whispered that he is a relative, so I didn't informed him. And then we came down. Bhashkar asked Mr. Bakshi, do you suspect anyone? Yes, my business partner Ramesh, said Mr. Bakshi. His phone number? Asked Bhashkar. It would be better if I SMS you his phone number and address. Please give your number? Asked Mr. Bakshi. Bhashkar gave his number and Mr. Bakshi texted him the details. That day we came to our hotel. Before coming, Bhashkar bought a blue colored notebook. After reaching, he wrote at least 5 to 7 pages in it. I think he noted down the observations of the day. The next morning, after breakfast, Bhashkar said, take the car and go out to the local sightseeing places. I have to roam around today. I will take a local taxi. I will be meeting you at lunchtime. So I did as commanded. At lunchtime, I came back to our room and saw Bhashkar noting down something in his blue colored notebook. After 10 minutes, he finished his writing and said, just one more step and the criminal would be caught. Now listen to what I say. After lunch, take rest or go to the local sightseeing places like morning. I have to again go. I promise that this is the last day that this sort of thing is happening. After today, whatever we do, we will do together. So, we had lunch and Bhashkar left directly. I came up, took rest and then went for a stroll. That day, Bhashkar returned at 6:30 p.m. On returning, he said, everything seems to be clear. I want to think a little now, and began writing in his notebook. The next morning, Bhashkar directly called up Mr. Bakshi and said, I am coming. Make sure that everyone is at home, and declined the call. This time, we took the car. Once we reached Mr. Bakshi's home, he said me, go in and say that I am coming. I did as commanded and told Mr. Bakshi, Bhashkar is coming. After a few seconds, Bhashkar came and sat in the sofa. He said to Mr. Bakshi, call down everyone, including the servants and your relative. Mr. Bakshi did so. One of the servants again brought coffee for everyone. Everybody took up one cup. I was eagerly waiting for Bhashkar to finish his cup of coffee as the culprit would be revealed. Once he finished his coffee, he began. After a lot of findings with proof, I sadly said that the culprit is your relative. Mr. Krishna Mohan shouted, what evidence do you have? Bhashkar began. Firstly, I would like to say that you are Shishendu Ghosh and not Krishna Mohan Ganguly. Then Bhashkar turned to Mr. Bakshi and said, this is your last business partner. After years, his face changed and moustache and beard grew. His voice also changed, I believe. Mr. Ghosh grew silent. Bhashkar began. Unfortunately, Mr. Bakshi got all the business partners deceiving. First, Mr. Ghosh and then Ramesh. Next, he doesn't work in Nepal Bank. Next, the printout was given by him. He knew Greek from internet just. This was quite unexpected for me to know, but the shop here has an odd tradition that people have to sign when they print something. Next, he knew from Ramesh that you are going to open a new business. He is in touch with him. And asked Mr. Ghosh, where is the money? He will be best knowing. Suddenly, Mr. Ghosh got up. He pushed me and Bhashkar and ran to the door. He opened the door and ran. I thought that Bhashkar would chase him. Instead, he was relaxed and requested us to come out. When we went outside, we saw Mr. Ghosh fallen down. Bhashkar said, Now do you understand that why I was late? Next, he walked to Mr. Ghosh and said, "You will be getting the right punishment for your work. Now say where the money is." He said, "In my house in Nepal." By that time, the Nepal police had already arrived. I know Bhashkar called them beforehand. Once they arrested Mr. Ghosh, Bhashkar said them where the money is. The policeman said, "Now it's up to us to get the money." We came inside. Mr. Bakchi said, "Thanks. What would happen if our car tire was not punctured that day? And how much should I pay you?" Bhaskar said, "It's up to you." So, at last, the man paid a check of 40,000 to him. So, after 7 days, we returned home with lovely memories of Lumbini, Pokhara, Nagarkat, Chitwan National Park, Bhaktapur, etc. On returning home, Bhaskar asked me if I could write down the stories of all the upcoming adventures, including this. I happily agreed. So here ends the story. Hope you liked our adventure. You were listening Detective Stories of Bhashkar Chowdhury, Chapter 1, written by Rudranil Lahiri, narration by Rudranil Lahiri. Thank you very much. Hope you liked it.